you sick of looking at Netflix and you don't know what to watch?
So many movies out there, you don't know which ones are good, which ones were bad.
You curious about what's out there?
I'm Joey Powers.
I'm Don Trettler.
This is the best pictures.
The ones you don't want to miss.
Hit it. Say hello to my little friend.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Winners go home and prom queen.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I don't deserve this. Deserves got nothing to do with it. No sequel for you.
Hi, I'm Joey Powers, one of your hosts.
I'm Don Trettler.
Welcome to another episode of the Best Pictures. Special date and time today, Tuesday instead of Monday.
We're laughing to ourselves because we were just watching the intro, which is kind of funny. I mean, we don't pay attention to it every week, but now we're watching. Going, oh my word!
Well, and then Colin's mimicking it as well, which that's what made me kind of laugh. But we kind of just have an impromptu topic tonight because I was supposed to watch Cool Hand Luke and I didn't, and I don't want to talk about Paul Newman until I do.
Right.
But
we're gonna have 2 weeks because next week we're not going to be on because it's
Labor Day. So we're
within those 2 weeks, we got to see. I own Cool Hand Luke. You own Cool Hand Luke. We got to watch.
We have to
this
watch
movie.
it, because I've heard it's a great movie. It gets an 8.2 on IMDb, which is definitely way above the Mendoza line for watching.
And we're going to talk some Newman. We're going to bring in some Newman salsa and
yeah, exactly.
drink some Newman's lemonade.
Maybe and some salad dressing. He hit a market on a lot of stuff. But on my way here, I was just thinking, why not Denzel Washington?
One of our favorite actors.
He's been in a lot of movies, a lot of great performances. And what got me thinking of it was, what do you think is his best performance?
That's real. That you said that. That's a real tough question because he did a couple of biopics where he did Malcolm X,
right, which I haven't seen.
Which he was really good, real strong performance. I'm surprised. I'll bet he was nominated for an Academy Award.
I think he was. Yeah,
he should have been. And then he was Hurricane. He was.
Reuben Carter.
Reuben Carter. Yeah.
Which another one that I haven't seen, which is shocking.
Wow.
But he also did American Gangster, which he was Frank Lucas, who's based on a real life character. But I was looking at it. The last movie that I saw him in, as far as release date, was The Taking of Pelham 123. That was 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2009.
Word.
Now I remember going and seeing that in the Claremont movie theater, and I liked it. And it's funny because I think he's playing a character of a remake of a movie Walter Matthau was in. And it's kind of hard to think of Denzel Washington playing a character that Walter Matthau played.
Right.
It just doesn't, seem like, I think Walter Matthau, like Grumpy Old Man. I didn't see a lot of the younger movies he did when he was younger. I think of Grumpy Old Man, The Odd Couple,
right,
which was older. But I don't think I've ever seen Walter Matthau in a serious role. And it's like an action movie. I can't see Walter Matthau playing an action.
Oh, I'm trying to remember who was on the other side. Was it
Walter? Oh, you mean in the original?
Walter Matthau and
it might have been. It was definitely a bigger name.
Roy Scheider. I don't know why I think it's Roy Scheider, but anyway, yeah, you're right. I think it was a weird casting choice picking Walter anyway because he hadn't done those types of movies.
And did he do something like that after? Because I always pictured him as a comedy legend kind of. Yeah. I never really thought of him being taking money or something like that. Travolta I thought was great as the bad guy. But he was nominated for He was nominated for Best Actor for Roman J. Israel, Best Actor for Fences, Best Actor for Flight, one for Training Day, nominated for The Hurricane, nominated for Malcolm X, one for Glory in a supporting role, and then nominated for Cry Freedom in a supporting role. So, he's then nominated for 6 Oscars.
Wow. And deserves it.
Oh, absolutely.
Would you call him one of your favorite actors?
Yeah.
Yeah, he certainly is one of mine. It's if his name is on a movie, I want to see it. Matter of fact, while we were talking about remakes, I was going to ask you, did you see he did the Magnificent Seven?
I haven't.
He took the Yul Brynner role that was in the old movie.
You lent me the original, and I still haven't watched that because I want to watch that obviously before I watch the remake.
Right.
You know, because I feel like that's a classic.
I think I got to see the remake now. I got to watch I started to watch it, and I think I fell asleep or something because I'm always tired. So.
I mean, that was Anton Fuqua,
Yeah.
who did Training Day, but that's also like Ethan Hawke,
Yeah, I
Chris
like him
Pratt. I think the bad guy's Peter Sarsgaard, who's actually a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
But I mentioned to Colin, I was like, I don't know what to think of Denzel's best performance, and he immediately said, "I like the submarine movie," and I was like, "Yeah, Crimson Tide."
Right.
I mean, that's a really, really good movie. Him and Gene Hackman are like, they both nail it, And the end result of that movie, I just like how it ended, because it's like, ultimately, the commanding officer is like, Gene Hackman was wrong, but ultimately you were both wrong, and there was really no wrongdoing because I think that you ultimately both did what you thought was in the best interest of the submarine. And it's one of those movies where it's like, I don't know, Denzel does have to ultimately be the guy that's right, and he's the good guy and this and that, but...
So who is it? It's Denzel Washington, it's Gene Hackman.
Viggo Mortensen's in it. I think...
Alec Baldwin? Or am I thinking of the wrong movie?
No, that's Alec Baldwin was actually Jack Ryan in the one of him and Sean Connery, the first Jack Ryan movie. I forget what it's called. But yeah, the big guy like George Dzunza I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's in it. It's got a pretty decent cast. But I don't know. I think that was a.
So that's Colin's favorite.
I think that's just the first one that he mentioned.
Oh. Well, what comes to mind when you think Denzel Washington?
Training Day.
Training Day.
Just because it was just so different than anything he really had done before. I mean, I guess I haven't seen Malcolm X. I guess he was probably a pretty big renegade in that movie as well.
Right.
But I haven't seen that.
Well, Training Day. I almost was going to say. I don't know if I want to say this without like spoiler alert. I mean, it's been out a long time, so spoiler alert or whatever. But it's the twist in his character, because he doesn't start out as like the bad guy, the heavy, but by the end of the movie, he's a heavy.
Oh yeah, like way over the top.
And it's Ethan Hawke again too.
Yeah,
isn't it Ethan Hawke?
And that's Anton Fuqua as
Good
well.
Good team, yeah. Because I like Ethan Hawke too. So the two of them playing off each other, I think that is one of his best performances. But you mentioned a few of some of the newer ones too, like Flight.
I haven't seen that. No.
Oh, I recommend it. I highly recommend that movie.
I feel like I need to put that on Netflix because that seems like a movie I would definitely like.
You said the Roman J. Israel, which I didn't see.
I haven't seen that.
He got nominated for an Academy Award, but I'm pretty sure that movie got dumped on.
Really?
It got bad reviews, so I kind of like avoided it. And if you notice, it really didn't do much. You don't hear much word of mouth about it.
I hadn't heard about it until I saw that he was nominated, because I watch the Oscars every year, and I don't even think I knew he was nominated until I watched the Oscars. I was like, wow, I've never heard of this movie.
But because he's in it, I think I would watch it. If somebody like handed it to me, I would probably watch it because it's Denzel Washington.
Yeah, he's one of those actors where, like you said, you hear his names in it, you're interested in watching it, just because I feel like he hasn't taken many bad roles.
Right. He did Fences.
I haven't seen that.
And that was from a stage play, and they basically did a filmed version of the stage play. And I don't know why I thought Stanley.
Yes, Stanley. Yeah.
Stanley Kowalski. Right?
Stanley Kowalski.
It's like an iconic role, you know, and I think Denzel Washington took that and just did it up. It's one of those. It's just. And it's not a flashy movie, but it's a very deep, dramatic movie, and I think he squeezed it for all it was worth. So it's hard to pick a Denzel Washington.
What is that? 'Cause I'm pretty sure I haven't seen whatever that is.
I don't know. It looks like he's a teacher.
He's a teacher, yeah. So I don't know. I tried figuring that out a while ago, and it's just something I've never seen. I know that. Another one that he's over the top, Man on Fire.
Oh, I started to watch that one.
That's pretty good.
That's another one I didn't get to see to the end. I know it because on my list, right? If I start to watch a movie and I fall asleep on it or don't get to see the end, I circle it. Like, I gotta
go back and watch this.
And that's when I needed to get back.
Towards the end of that, I mean, did you get to the part where the girl gets kidnapped?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, because it's towards the end of that movie. he's a man on fire. I mean, he goes off, absolutely. Very good movie. Very not Denzel, like, not the prototypical movie you would see him in at all. But he's great. Absolutely great in it.
Right.
Out of Time.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, you told me about it,
Yeah.
and then I happened to catch it on vacation a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and I really liked it.
I mean, it's not a great by Denzel standards whatsoever, but it's a movie worth watching.
Right, and
Yeah.
I didn't. You know what got me is that I didn't realize that it was going to turn into like have like a science fiction twist to it.
Yeah.
So I was watching it as a pure, like cop drama type of thing because I don't think the twist comes into that movie until partway through. But I was into it. I mean, if you'd have told me about it, I'd been like, I don't know if I'm going to buy into this,
Right,
but I
right.
did. It's Denzel Washington. It's like anything he's in, I'll pretty much watch it.
Yeah, just give it a shot, just because.
What's the first? You've got the list. What was he originally kind of caught on? He was on a TV show. I think it was St. Elsewhere. Is that right?
I was looking at it earlier because I remember he was on a TV
was like
show.
playing
St.
a
Elsewhere,
doctor.
yeah, 82 to 88.
And then, so what was the first movie that he kind of busted at? It probably was a comedy, I think.
I want to say like the first one that really got him recognition. I mean, The Mighty Quinn, is that what you were thinking of possibly? Or?
No, I'm thinking-
Because he did Cry Freedom
He was with somebody else.
for
and
Queen
he-
and Country.
I don't know that. Well, I don't know that one.
Carbon Copy.
Carbon Copy.
Is that it?
Yeah, who is it? And it's what's
I want
the
to say
name?
that's a famous director, isn't it?
I'm trying to think of who the actor is. I think it's a story where he turns out to be the son of
George Segal.
George Segal.
Susan St. James, Jack Warden. I haven't
Right.
seen him in something in a while. I wanted to say that was a pretty famous director, though.
There was a time when Jack Warden was in everything. Every movie you went to the movies, there's Jack Warden.
Jack
Jack
Warden,
Warden's
yeah.
in it. Then Wilford Brimley took over the Jack Warden roles.
The Quaker Oats guy.
Yeah, now who's the new Wilford Brimley who's in everything? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I was going to say the one that really got him the most recognition was his first Oscar, and it was Glory.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that or not.
I did, and you know what? I've wanted to watch it again, and our library doesn't have it, so that's one I should buy for the library.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to watch it over again. I remember it just being so powerful.
We did I forget they were called, where at the end of the school year in Westminster for like 2 weeks, mini courses, they called them. And it was supposed to be something fun and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, I got stuck with Civil War. And that was like my mini course for like the 2 hours every Friday. And all we did was watch Civil War movies. And that's when that's actually the only time I've seen Glory. It was a really good movie. I mean, Matthew Broderick's like the leader of an all-black brigade, or whatever you want to call it. Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington.
Right.
I remember it being a very powerful movie. And that he won Best Supporting Actor for it. And then he got Heart Condition. Did you ever see that?
Heart Condition?
I just saw that on.
No, what is that?
Oh, I saw that when I was a kid as well.
Sounds like a love story, right?
No, I think it's a comedy.
Oh.
Let me read the description. A racist cop, Bob Hoskins is the cop. A racist cop receives a heart transplant from a black lawyer he hates, who returns as a ghost to ask the cop to help take down the men who murdered him. But it's a comedy. It's funny.
What did it get?
5.6.
Just below the Mendoza
Like I
line.
said, I saw it when I was a kid, so everything when I
Right.
was a kid was good, I mean, so.
Well, it's got, I mean, I like Bob Hoskins too, so I mean that would be tempting if I saw that sitting there somewhere.
It's actually not. It's not a bad movie. If I saw it again, I'd probably say 5.6 is probably accurate. But I think Glory got him on the path to becoming a star. But then Ricochet, did you see that? He's a cop in that.
Oh, I'm sure I did.
That was 91, so I saw that when I was a kid. Malcolm X, obviously, he was nominated for an Oscar. That was a big movie. Spike Lee.
Right. I thought he was good too.
Yeah.
Or maybe even the film itself.
Him, Meg Ryan, Matt Damon. That was kind of a breakout in a way for Matt Damon. It was I think it was the year before Good Will Hunting came out. So he was more well known, I feel, than Ben Affleck was at the time when Good Will Hunting came out. Preacher's Wife.
Preacher's Wife. That's a remake of a movie that I always bring up. Yeah, I guess is it called The Preacher's? I think it's called The Preacher's Wife with Cary Grant.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right,
It's a
actually.
movie in the 40s, early 50s, and then he did it and with
Whitney Houston, yeah.
And I don't think it gets a very good write-up.
I'm sure it
I
does.
think it's pretty low compared to the old one. It's hard. It's how do you redo a Cary Grant movie?
No,
he had a
it's-
certain
yeah.
charm.
No, it's tough. One I saw when I was in high school, He Got Game,
Oh right.
with him and Ray Allen, where he's in jail for life for murdering his wife, and Ray Allen's like this huge basketball star, and the governor, I think it's of Texas, makes a deal with Denzel Washington's character that if he can convince him to go to the state school, which I don't think they actually say, but it's the University of Texas, or Texas University, whatever it's called. If he can convince his son to go to that school, that he'll be paroled. And his son absolutely hates him because he, as a kid, he watched him chain his mother to like the radiator and beat her to death with a tire iron or something like that. You know, so it's very hard for Ray Allen's character to like even be in the same cell. You know, go in and talk to his father, go out in the, you know, in the prison playground or whatever and shoot with him. You know, it's very difficult because of what he saw his father do to his mother as a young
Right.
child. It's a very powerful movie. I don't remember liking it all that much though.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's like a very
I was kind of impressed with Ray
With
Allen.
Ray Allen.
Like I just didn't. I knew he was a basketball player, but he didn't seem like it. He seemed like an actor in the
and
movie.
he was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And Denzel's character is not a likable person at all. It's like you don't feel like he has any remorse for what he did to his wife. He's simply just trying to get out of jail. You know, it doesn't even seem like he really cares about his son. I mean, his ultimate goal is I don't want to die in prison. And he's just trying to say or do whatever he can to do that. And I mean, at the end of the movie, you could tell Ray Allen's character he wants nothing to do with his father whatsoever. But he ultimately signs a letter of intent to go to the college to get his father out of jail. But I mean, just by the way it ends, you could tell like they probably talked for the last time. Like he's not going to go visit his father. You know,
Right.
his father's not going to get any money that he's going to make in the NBA or whatever. You know, so, but it's a memorable role, but it's not a likable role.
Right.
Like you don't empathize with him at all. You know, I mean, I didn't. I mean, I don't know how you feel on it, but I just didn't. It's a movie I probably would watch again because, again, Ray Allen was really good and Denzel's good in it.
Yeah.
It's just he's just not likable. It's like you can't. I don't know.
You can't relate to him.
No, and you don't want to. It's like you can't forgive him for what he did. I mean, it's just I don't know. What about The Siege? Did you see that?
The Siege.
Him,
No, I don't think I did.
It's
That's what
Denzel,
we talked about
Bruce
before.
Willis, and Annette Bening.
Sit on the list here.
It should be on the list.
I somehow think I wrote this down before. The Siege.
Basically,
I'm writing it down, people. I got to see it.
martial law takes place in New York City. And Denzel's like the lead detective there's a lot of like terrorist crimes going on. And Denzel's like the lead detective trying to come to the end of it. And then Bruce Willis is like the general of the army. And the army comes in and they're basically like, you know, we're declaring martial law, like the army's taking over. And him and Denzel just butt heads and stuff. And it's actually a strong performance by Bruce Willis. But him, Denzel, and Annette Bening are all great. They all play very well together. I wonder, you know, I'm going to check and see what that got. Because it's actually, I
Yeah.
bet it didn't get as high as I think it got, or should get. But one that I think, I
So
know,
what would you give it before you look? What would you give it?
I'd give it over 7.
Over 7.
Yeah. So yeah, 6.4. So I probably liked it more than most people. But one I know we've talked about before that, not necessarily maybe one of his best performances, but I feel like one of his best movies is John Q. You've seen that.
Right.
We've talked
Yeah.
about that, where his son's like dying and essentially he has to take over a hospital to get his son to not get transferred or kicked out essentially because his family doesn't have the money. They're doing whatever they can to get the money, and it's an outrageous amount of money, and they don't have insurance. He loses his job. They're selling literally everything that they have, and it's just not enough. And so his wife is like, do something, you know, because they're going to release him. And if they release him, he's going to die. And he's a little kid. He's in like, you know.
Yeah.
Good movie. I'm kind of curious. What do you think that?
I bet that's in the 7.5.
I would think so. That's a movie.
Everybody liked it. Everybody I've talked to.
That's got a great cast. You know, Denzel, James Woods, Robert Duvall. I'm sure there's more. So not overly new, but newer than anything. Like I said, anything I've seen with Denzel in it.
What's the other one? If you've got him up, I can't think of the name of it. He's a blind guy, and he's got the last Bible.
The Book of Eli.
Book of Eli. You saw it.
Oh my God! Breaking news: Colin saw a movie.
That's an interesting.
I haven't seen. I didn't know he was blind. I haven't seen it.
Oh, spoiler alert!
I knew nothing. I knew nothing about it. So
I wasn't thinking when I said that.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. That's fine. I mean, like I said, it's
him being blind's the twist at the end. He just ruined the entire movie. The entire movie, he's an action hero saving the Bible, and then at the end, you find out he's been blind the entire time, and he's been blessed by the gift of God, and that's why he managed to do it all.
Colin, real quick, while you're talking, tell Don about The Departed.
They put X's in the scenes with the people who are gonna die.
They put X's?
Yeah.
Like in the.
I actually saw the video, or not the video, but the images that he showed.
Tiles on the floor.
Every actor that dies in the movie, there's an X in the scene where they die. I was like, what are you talking about? And he got it. Well, he got it confused.
On the first time you saw it,
No, he hasn't seen it.
Oh.
He got it confused with Shutter Island.
Oh.
But then we got talking about it, and he showed me, and it's like there's like when Martin Sheen's falling out the window, there's an X like right underneath him. There's like literally an X behind every character that dies in the movie.
Oh my word! I'm gonna have to see this.
I know. I'm gonna have to watch it just to I don't pay attention to detail.
Maybe it was a YouTube video, so I don't have to watch the whole movie.
It wasn't what he showed me wasn't a video. It's just like the actual images in the movie. You know, they got them like side by side. Like Matt Damon when he's about to unlock the door at the end, there's an X behind him on the carpet.
Oh wow!
And it's like wow. It's like it kind of ruins it for anyone that hasn't seen the movie because now you know who dies.
Yeah.
You know, but.
Well, I could watch it because I've already seen it a few times.
Another one quickly. I know we're short on time. Another one Colin mentioned, which I want to see what it got. Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
That's a really good movie.
Disney movie.
7.8. That's a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know who the daughter of the assistant coach is? It's Hayden Panettiere.
Oh.
She like became famous in Heroes like years ago, and then she's in like I Love You, Beth Cooper, and Scream 4.
Oh, and who's the actor that played the other coach? That was the coach before him, and then was his
something Patton.
Will Patton.
Yeah,
I like Will Patton.
He's in like Armageddon.
He's never the lead guy in these movies.
But he's always like stellar.
He's solid.
He is. I think like Ryan Gosling's one of like the receiver. Let's see who else is in it. Donald Faison, who used to be on the show Clueless and the movie Clueless, he's in it. Kate Bosworth, I didn't know who she was, but she's in it. You know, but it's a really good movie. You know, it's about right after, you know, segregation is allowed. I forget what state. It was in Mississippi? I don't even remember.
No, I'm thinking it was like North Carolina or Virginia.
Okay. But it's a really good movie because they all have to get along with each other now. And it's just very powerful.
Right.
You know.
And and the Will Patton character who's also he's not a racist.
But he's kind of angry because he lost his job and he's demoted to assistant coach to Denzel Washington.
Right, because he believes he knows he was a good coach to begin with.
And, you know, all the people in the school board or whatever assure him, he's like, don't worry, the first game you guys lose, you're going to get your job back. And I think deep down, Denzel kind of knows the same thing. He's like, you know, we have to win every week. We have to go perfect. And it's a really well-acted movie, and it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it.
Did you look at that? What that
7.8.
Yeah, definitely.
So
it's up there. It's a great, maybe one of the best football movies.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? It might be the best football movie.
You know what? It just bothers me because we did a sports show, and I don't think we talked about it.
Oh.
I think we missed that one, which is shocking because we don't miss much. But we are running out of time. So, yeah, we're not going to be in next week. But in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The deal is we're both going to watch Cool Hand Luke, and we're going to talk about Paul.
I'll rip my house apart to find mine.
So we have.